Hello, everybody.
Rock
How
and
you
roll.
doing? You like new one?
Hello.
You never
Yeah,
did a
new
new
intro, fun.
You like that one?
I like it.
Yeah. Um, with the intro, the what do you call it? The artwork is from Richard Marcella. They gave us that, and I put our names in it, but
Beautiful.
it's pretty
No, I
cool.
love it.
So,
Yeah.
welcome everybody to another experience with us tonight on Seekers Chronicles Paranormal historians. We're still
Yeah.
historians, yeah, historians and everything. So yeah, we're here tonight, and I just want to say hello to everybody. Um, Anybody in the audience yet?
Yeah.
Mary Beth, and
Hey,
and
Mary Beth.
Coco's Todd and
And
Comedian,
good Carmela. Hello.
my
Hello,
Carmela.
Cocos.
Two great people.
Yeah,
So
they're great.
I just we had a good weekend, didn't we, guys?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jenny and I went on two investigations with
We
Ronnie
did.
Lourdes during the day. We
Yeah,
did a
a private
private
one.
resident,
Mhm.
which was crazy.
Was crazy.
And then we did the one at nighttime. But that was pretty cool. You know, the one that during the day, we had people rush up on us, and she got a great EVP. You know,
2 of 3, maybe.
three,
Really, really class A, out loud, sounds like a person EVPs.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. Like
yeah,
so loud. Sounded like there was
yeah.
just a man
I
right
don't
behind
care,
Anthony.
stuff like that came out
Yeah.
clearly. I
I
got,
know. I said why we were there, and the EVP said, "I don't care." I'm like, okay,
yeah.
guess we
And
know where we
I seen a
stand.
cat down the basement, like a small cat, and
Oh, a
the
spirit,
spirit of a
cat
cat,
spirit.
and he just ran across the floor. And Jenny told the guy later on about it, and goes, you see my cat? What was it? The cat's name? Shadow or something like
Oh,
that?
midnight.
Midnight. You
Oh,
seen Midnight?
close enough.
And he
Yeah.
goes, that's the only
Yeah.
cat that's buried in the backyard by the back window, and
Neither's
all the other
Anthony.
cats cremated on their shelf.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. I'd seen a couple of things.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a very interesting thing of the private resident. I haven't done a private resident in a long time. So
Yeah.
that
And
was
Ron and
very
Lourdes
interesting.
joined us with doing Staticom.
Yeah. And a lot of stuff came up that
Yeah.
the owner actually said was like, yeah. And then he was funny. He's like a kid running from place to place, bringing out the thing came up letters, and he's pulling letters out of the closet from his mom to his dad, and all this crazy stuff. And it was an interesting thing. Then we
Played
go
the piano.
to so we
Oh,
go
yeah.
to then we go to at nighttime Tubbs. That was a nice resident. It was beautiful, wasn't
Beautiful home. Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful home, beautiful artwork, historic artwork, Chinese
Gardens.
and Eastern artwork, like unbelievable. Emperors, empress, stuff from monasteries that were in there, and stencils from the homeowner who lived there was also an artist. Yeah, it was really, really beautiful. Another unique opportunity to have quite a clean read of a house, because there's only a few individuals in the families who have lived in that house also. So yeah, beautiful grounds, arboretum. Oh my gosh,
Uncle
I can't.
Giuseppe.
Hey, Uncle Giuseppe.
So yeah, that house was really nice. And then how about all the shadows we've seen, and the footsteps coming up the stairs when we were all doing Staticom, and
yeah. Well, before that, Kyle and I were outside I was doing my reading outside, and we heard footsteps. Both of us stopped what we were doing. It's on recording. I have it. And we heard footsteps walking up to us outside. And so I'm not surprised that there were footsteps also heard inside, but the outdoors was, I want to go like outdoors. Outdoor, like enchanted evening would be
me too.
Amazing.
With the fairies and the elementals and everything else out
all
there.
kinds of stuff out there too.
It's an arboretum, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about. So we're talking about a Tubbs house, not mansion. I called it mansion. It's a Tubbs house at Willowwood Arboretum in New Jersey.
Yep.
So there's gardens, tons of gardens. There's like rose gardens and lilacs and trees, and oh my gosh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank goodness, Mary Beth.
You know, but yeah, it was a great night, and the best part about the night is just being with you guys.
Oh, I thought it was the cannoli.
Oh, that was it. Oh, Jennie brought the cannolis. These people know how to. They bribe me with cannolis. Everywhere I go, I get a cannoli. I love it.
They were good.
I can't complain.
They were good.
I cannot complain. Ton and Camilla, gets me cannolis. You guys get me cannoli. You get me cannolis all the time. I walk in the place and here's a cannoli. I was like, this is great. Ghosts and cannolis.
Ghosts
love
and
it.
cannolis.
I love it. So I'm excited for tonight. Very excited for tonight. Because we promised you when we started this show that we would try to find some out of the way locations and go, deep into the history of them. Not necessarily always cover the big places, even though we can do that too. But and we've done that so far, I think, looking back. And tonight we have just a little gem, in my opinion, just a little gem. And just to quickly tell you how we came upon this place. It is the Somerset Valley Playhouse.
I'm going to put a picture of it up. It was a drawing picture, so you could tell.
Great. And I love it. So we came upon this place because of the guest tonight. So I think this is a great way to introduce him. It was because of the guest tonight who contacted me about coming to the Playhouse and checking it out and checking out any paranormal activity. And the best part about it was, the shocking part about it was, the guest was the fire marshal of Hillsborough, New Jersey. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. I mean, I actually said out loud, this is so cool. And he ended up being just a wonderful guy who came to investigate with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you John Yanko.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, here he is.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Good. How's everybody doing?
This is so cool, John, to have you. We're so happy to have you. I mean, we always have investigators or people who have a location, but tonight we have a firefighter. That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, who better than someone like you who goes in all these buildings and hears all these stories? So we can't wait to hear them from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You get to get in there when there's nobody there. And
I mean, it's great. As a fire inspector, we get to go into all these places, like every place in town. I wish more inspectors would come forward to you guys to say we have this gem in our town, because this place was really, not say haunted, but it had a lot of energy in there.
Yeah.
Tonight. So
yeah. I mean, and you had been there before, and we're going to show this, but you actually had evidence from this place that you came to us with, not just, that you heard things.
Yeah, so I was inspecting, and the manager of the Playhouse is also a retired firefighter from Irvington. Is Irvington? Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah. Anyway, he was there, and he was talking about these experiences that he has at nighttime with they see things, they hear things, and so I watched these paranormal shows, and I was like, you know what? Let me try something. His name is Randy Coggington, his wife Bonnie, there with us that day, and I was like, let's try to see if you can see something, So I turned off all lights in the place, and it was April of 2019 when this happened. So we turned the lights off, and I got my camera out, went on the stage of the Playhouse, and I just turned the camera. I didn't have the flash on, just the regular camera, and the iPhone. It looked like to me an orb going across the phone, and I took a picture of it. I didn't have a flash because in these shows they say don't use a flash because you can reflect dust or whatever. So I just used the camera, and it took a couple 30 seconds, whatever, to get the picture, but. You could see an orb going across, and then it looked like it went into a seat. And I took another picture, and you really couldn't see it that well. But when I highlighted the picture, you can see it looked like there was a guy sitting in the seat with a hat on, cool. As you may be able to show.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So that's fantastic. I mean, that's like what we look for.
So, and Randy said they had years ago an investigator go in there, and they thought there was a bunch of spirits in the whole place, and it's right down the street from the oldest graveyard in Hillsborough, so which is kind of adds to the creepiness, if you will. But yeah, it was
true.
you know, it was nice. And I saw you on social media, and I said, you know, you're right here next door, so let's see if you're interested to come and check it out. So
I
I'm
was
glad you did.
interested.
Interested, check.
Yeah. Am I interested?
She's like a schoolgirl texting me. You wouldn't believe what I got. It's like
Yeah,
it was like
I
a
was
big
so
page.
excited.
She was like a schoolgirl just typing away.
I'm
Right.
always like a schoolgirl. Anybody who watches this show knows that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Now,
no, but I was so excited.
John, I have a question. So was this your first experience that you had in a place, or was it the first time that you literally were like, whoa, I can't explain this. This is incredible.
yeah. So I've been there many times. I never really thought about it. But when I took the pictures, and then Randy was saying, yeah, him and his wife take pictures and they see things moving or orbs or whatever the case may be. I was like, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that was my first experience in 2019. Then we went there in July, I guess. I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We investigated together. The
Yeah,
four of us
yeah.
were there in July this year. And we're going to show your picture, which is really cool. We
Yeah.
are going to show that. But we should start at the beginning. We always, as historians, start at the beginning, talk a little bit about the location.
Okay.
Because this location had several incarnations, which is really, we love that. You know, I
Right.
love the layers, the lasagna, the paranormal lasagna. I love that those layers. But it started as a schoolhouse.
Yeah, so
Correct?
they built the schoolhouse in the early 1900s. You know, so that part of the town was the town itself is very old. I think George Washington even slept down the road there, but
He slept everywhere.
yeah.
Every show we talk about where George Washington slept.
Yeah, so it was down the road. He may have went to school there. I'm not. Yeah, but
He was a
very old.
squatter.
And
Washington was a squatter. Nobody knew it.
yeah, so right down the road from there is the one of the oldest churches in the area. They had an old Main Street there. They had a stagecoach house or something across from the church. They say George Washington stayed there. I don't know, but they did have a lot of. They did a Revolutionary War there also in that area. So the redcoats went up the road. You know, so it's pretty has a lot of history in that area. You know.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, for
Then
sure.
I think it went from a schoolhouse to, I'm not too sure, maybe like 70s to I forget what they said it was, like a machine.
A print shop?
Print shop?
Like a print
Yeah, it was
shop?
a print shop. Yep.
So, yeah, so it was a print shop. And then it went to the Playhouse, I think in the early 80s, I believe so. There was the Somerset Valley Players from the 60s. Then they moved to there. I think it was opened up in 1985, I believe. As a playhouse. Nice. So a lot of history in that place.
A lot, yeah. And I did send some pictures of this. I love that they preserve it. Like they in that playhouse they have a list of students from like this one room school. You know, in fact, one of the people who was with us there said, "My dad went to school here."
Yeah,
that was pretty neat. So living history, really.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot of those little towns like that have family that, you know, they're there for centuries. You know.
Yeah.
And so like something like this, you go back in time, they could find out that one of their family members went to this place, which is I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know.
It looks like a schoolhouse. You don't think? Can you put the picture up again?
Yeah.
Please.
I will.
Yeah, like the bell on top, like the school bell.
This is the actual. This I found this drawing.
Yeah.
It's on their site, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like a little one-room schoolhouse. You know. It's not big. It's very small.
Yeah. Well, it has enough room for I guess the stage wasn't there. Maybe that was all opened up flat.
Oh yeah. Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And so it opened that room up, and remember, you have desks, you have the chairs there also that go up for the theater. So maybe who knows if that was all flat at one time, and that would have been a big room. You could make 2 rooms out of that for students.
And 2 floors.
And then you got the bottom floor too, and then so
that's true.
So this place is very interesting, and of course, as investigators, we did have to take a ride over to the cemetery afterwards.
Of course.
Of course.
John had brought me there earlier. John had brought me there first before we went to investigate, and it was so pretty. It's really a pretty place, but he's not kidding. It's literally right behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which made for interesting readings for Kim.
Well, not only that, so like in the cemetery, there are hand carved gravestones with the dates. I mean, that's not typical. Usually, they're manufactured, but there are some old, I think they were from I think it's 1726. I don't know if we have a picture of them. But yeah, that was really cool to see those.
I don't think so.
Okay. They're just like a hunk of, rock that they hand carved in the date and initials. So that was really, really interesting. We did a lot of EVPs in that area too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Adam, this is in New Jersey. This is in, it's a very interesting area. It could be one town or another. So which one do we call it?
Like Neshannock Station or
it's Hillsborough, right?
Hillsborough, great.
Yep.
It's the Neshannock Cemetery, though, right? Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Neshannock, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, coming down here from Massachusetts, it was like it still very much confuses me about the different town names and townships. And like in that area, like you hop a street and it's like 3 different other zip codes.
Yeah. You get used to it, but it's very confusing. Yeah, I'm not from New Jersey either, and neither's Anthony.
Nah. But I did live in Jersey for like 2 years in Saddlebrook. 2 years.
Oh.
But I didn't have my green card for Jersey, so they kicked me back to New York.
Is that why they kicked you out?
Yeah, I didn't have the New Jersey green card. I had to get back out, So they kicked me out.
Yeah.
But Jersey's confusing. I'm used to the city. We got numbers. You go from 100th Street to 102nd Street. 100, and then you got 101st, 102nd, and you go down. It's over in Jersey. Everything's a name, and half the things don't have markings on it. I be driving. It's like, is this that block?
He's not kidding. He got lost.
With the GPS, it helps out a lot now. Well, I remember when I lived in Jersey, it was back in '86. So I had that paper map, and the one time I got so lost. I ended up upstate New York somewhere. I'm from Saddlebrook. And I'm like, where the hell? Suffering, New York. I mean, how the hell did I get here? Going down, you're driving, and it's like, I got to make a U-turn. 40 miles down the road, I got to make a U-turn to come back. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Jersey drove me nuts. So I'm happy. New York has a lot of traffic, but at least I don't get lost.
It makes sense.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's pretty though where you live. You live in Hillsborough, John?
No, I live next door in Manville.
Okay, in Manville. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
It is a beautiful area though.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
It is pretty in
Very
Somerville where I live. It's right. I live right near you, and because I live in Somerville, I live right next to you. Anyway, should we get into it? Let's get into it. Should we do what we do and start with Kim?
Well, I see.
Or should we start with John's photos since he mentioned them?
I don't know. I don't know. Those photos are pretty good. I mean, we can always come back to the photos.
Okay.
No. I'm saying like we can show the photos now, and then like we can show them again because
I agree.
Really,
they're fantastic.
And I also wanted to mention about orbs. In the paranormal industry, orbs were a thing, then they weren't a thing, and then like now they're kind of coming back, especially with all the different videos and different filters and all this stuff. But I did want to mention, I don't know if anybody watched the hearing this week from the unidentified objects from the government hearing.
Yeah.
They have orbs in their reports. Literally orbs of lights in their reports. So maybe there is something to these orbs that we see. So just I wanted to put that out there as you know.
You don't want me to get into all the detail with orbs.
No, but Bobby Gallo, who was our guest on this show, it recommended a book to me called The Orb Project. It's excellent. Really, really good. I recommend it. And, with John's case, it wasn't so much like just an orb. He literally saw something move across the theater and move into the seat.
Right.
And through his camera. Right, John?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yep.
I don't want to
Yep.
speak for you. Okay. Because you were the guest.
Do you want me to start with that?
Let's do it.
Does it look like a theater? I got
Yep.
small little pictures here.
Yeah.
And it's these all.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if this is the
Throw it
one.
up.
You want to talk
Yep.
about it, John?
Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
He
Sure.
just did. Yeah. Yeah. He described
this
it.
it?
That's the actual picture
That's
of the.
the second one. That's
right.
the first. So go to the other one first, so you can see like the orb in the back. Okay. Yeah.
So there's
See that
one
thing?
of them. There's something going across the screen, but I have another picture. Maybe I'm not sure if I gave that to you, but it's actually before it comes. It's not that one.
Right. There is another picture, and I don't think we have it on the show.
I only have two of the theater.
There's another picture where in the back, where by the clock.
Yeah, by the clock you can see it coming through.
You see like a round, illuminated object, and then you see it come across. You can see it right there, and then it goes into the sea in the next picture.
The one that the light coming from the top.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yes.
That's really the second thing he saw. The first thing he saw was more like a circle in the back by the clock. And then it moved into this, and then it moved into the sea. Correct, John?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the first one. That's the second sort of thing he saw. And then the next picture is the third one where we really see, it looks like a man in a hat in the sea.
This one. Okay.
So, you can see the clock to your left looking at the screen. The orb came from that area and it went across. And I was watching this through my phone. I took a picture of it. But then it came down and it just kind of like turned to that little, I guess, that blurry figure that's sitting to your right in the mid row. And it looks like, look close. It looks like it has a hat on. It was weird. And it didn't make sense until we did our investigation in July to figure out maybe why it had the hat on.
Good point.
Yeah.
Kim knows all that story.
Yeah.
It'll all come together.
What I love about this picture, and again, we can go back to it too at some point, is it's in front of the seats, but behind the middle row. So it's like within the seats. And I just love that.
Yeah. It's
right.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't see the bottom of it because it's between the seats. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not directly in front of John. John's on the stage. It's not in front of him, and it's not behind all of the seats. It's within the seats. Like actually, you can tell it's within the seats. So I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I find interesting about this is that John's not an investigator. This is something he does, and he doesn't have no special equipment. He just did this with his phone, and and it's like he picks up something.
Todd wants to know if we can zoom in.
About it. You didn't know what you were looking at, but you knew something was there. So
right.
That's why you documented it, which is I thought that's great. I mean, that's because a lot of people will see stuff like that and they're out the door.
Yeah.
Well, I was ready to run out the door.
The door's on the way out, huh?
Understandable.
But what was weird about that was when that happened, I don't know why, but the room felt like it got colder.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you if you felt anything while this is going on. Perfect.
It felt like it got colder, and I was like, Randy, is the air conditioning on? He's like, no, it's April. We don't have an air conditioning on yet. So now I'm like, so that's what kind of made me feel like that this could have been true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm not going to say everything until later on, but that's near one of the chairs that we had something with. We had, we're going to show later on, but there's a chair near there. It's only a couple of things down from there, so that there was activity or something there. So I'm just going to leave that open for later. All right.
Like all investigations, like it all comes together, right?
Yeah.
And what I also love about this too is we love stacking the evidence. We always talk about this all the time, is stacking the evidence.
Lasagna.
No, that's the timeline, Jenny.
That's what I call it. Paranormal lasagna.
So you saw, and it wasn't just an orb, right? It wasn't just this figure, and it wasn't just you feeling a change and a shift in the energy and the temperature of the room. It was all three of those things together that created this paranormal experience, basically.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we do as investigators. I mean, we try and say, okay, we have this one thing. Do we have another thing that's associated with it? We have an EVP. Do we also have any communications directly on the tools? So yeah, I mean, that's an incredible paranormal experience. And I'm sure that will stay with you forever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's very
definitely.
interesting.
I had Todd in the audience said he zoomed in and he can see a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Does appear to be a hat. And
Yeah.
Todd is quite the orb aficionado himself, as well as Carmelo. So
Yeah, they got a couple good things there.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They sure are.
Mhm.
So, okay. Here we go. So that was interesting, and that was, you said that was your first experience with something at this location.
At that location, yes.
Yeah, but you have seen stuff in other locations, and it's like
Yeah.
the
So
first
you
time
know, when I was younger, I
experiencing
worked
things?
at a restaurant. We had some crazy things happening. So I wanted to hopefully get you guys there too. You know, that'd be great. It just seems like, you know, when you talk to these people about these different things, they say it's a negative to their business.
Yes.
I think it'd be kind of a positive, you know, if people want to go there to see maybe something, but, you know, but hopefully we can get there one time, and that'd be great, because there was like a lot of activity at the other places.
Mhm.
Okay.
I understand these locations not wanting. They got, because I have a location that I was wanted to get in. It was actually my cousin's. he has a studio and stuff, and a couple of people in the place seen a girl there, which I have seen also. So I wanted to do an investigation there, and he's like, no, because I got people here overnight, and they hear the place is haunted. They're not going to want to work nights, and you understand, because people might not want to work there. Religious people think it's some kind of demon or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand why people don't want us to come, but it's none of the above. Everybody thinks it's something negative, like you said, and it's not. Most of the time, it's not negative, and they just want to be known that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, they just want acknowledgement. You know, that's why they're going to keep on coming at you to get acknowledged that they're still here.
Mhm.
Just acknowledgement. So.
Acknowledgement and or residual, where it's not actually
True.
an entity doing anything. It's just residual energy imprinting in the location, which actually I do find, and Jennie, you can speak to this too, that theaters tend to have quite a bit of activity. I don't know if I've ever heard of a theater that didn't have activity.
I agree.
And for me, I think it's mostly because it's a gathering space. So it's a lot of people coming into one area over and over and over again. And also there's a lot of emotion expressed, right? Like you're on stage, there's emotion, there's a story on stage, and also there's emotion in the audience. So I think a lot of that has a deep connection and can lead to a place holding the experience longer, with residual activity and other people who are wanting to stay and communicate.
And there was some powerful personalities at this place as well, from the teachers to, you know, through the print shop to the theater.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's
interesting. Now, I agree. I mean, my group hosts investigations at the Ritz Theater in Haddon Township, New Jersey, and we find that, and we do investigations after the show. You know, like there'll be a show followed by an investigation. You know, and it really fires up the activity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The emotions and stuff like
From
that.
What I hear, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Trying to pull. I forgot. You know, I drew pictures of this. I seen some spirits and I drew the pictures.
That's right. We want to see.
And there was a couple of them, and I forgot to put them on tonight. Well, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see.
You drew a no, not a dancer. A dancer? It looked like a dancer.
Yeah, it was a dancer. I drew a man from in the background. I'm upset that I didn't think about it just now. I had a couple of them. Yeah, I drew was a woman down the basement. She looked like a dancer.
Yeah, to me, she looked like a dancer, the one she drew.
Can't see, huh?
Try and get closer.
If I get closer,
no.
You gotta hold it. You gotta hold it steady.
Right
there.
There
you go.
That's the one I seen down the basement. She was in that room. When you go down the basement, down the stairs, you go to the prop room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
I put a video of going down the stairs so people could see what it was like. I took some
in
video
the prop
in
room.
place.
I seen her in the prop room, and there was another guy
Cool.
I seen there too. Oh, this one was interesting.
A
He was in the
guy?
back.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is weird.
This was out in the back
This is
of the
so
place. I
odd.
don't know if you can see him.
Yeah, he's
Just
like
hold it steady. Yeah, see the
He's-
hat.
He has a hat and he has a Bible and a cape.
interesting. And interestingly, there's that guy. There's the hat. There's a hat that's
There's the hat
displayed.
meme.
Yeah, there's a hat that's displayed
Wait,
in the theater from.
Also, I see lightning bolts and stuff behind him. He
So
might have
odd.
died from getting hit by lightning or some kind of electrical charge.
Wow.
Hmm.
Right, because you felt that like electric energy thing.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
felt like a
interesting.
bolt.
Creature.
Yeah, like hey,
Hey.
I got that one. And
It almost looks.
I seen this guy up on the
Uh-oh,
stage by
He's
the
lost her. Oh, interesting. That guy up by the stage.
he was up on the stage over by the dressing room.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's dressed like this, but he had a woman's shirt on, so maybe he was one of the actors.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a smock or something. Interesting.
So,
Cool. Look at the hair. Like that's so specific. You know that Kim dropped out, right?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah,
Okay.
she didn't come back yet.
Okay.
I'll let her in. So
'cause we
those are
wanna
the things
do-
I've seen there.
That's pretty cool.
You know?
It'd be interesting. Now, John, Bonnie and Randy. Yep. Sorry, I got it. Came to me. Bonnie and Randy. I did send them. I think I send them those pictures. And no,
Okay.
you know who I sent them those pictures, and Richard Moshello, the spirit artist, did some pictures for us too, and I sent them. And one of them in particular, they really felt they recognized. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
You have any physical?
Question for John.
Yeah.
No physical.
You haven't felt like touched or
No,
pushed or anything?
I'd be
like
running.
that?
Nah, I'd be.
Yeah,
No, you wouldn't. Stop. He's not. He's kidding. He was really brave in the investigation.
Yeah.
And John brought his
We
yeah,
lost
know.
Kim.
There she is.
Yeah.
Kim is
You're
back.
back.
I'm back.
You're
Kim.
back.
Thank goodness, because we
What
can't do the
happened?
readings without you.
I don't know what happened. It just kicked me off. It's okay. I have my phone on, so don't worry. If I ever do, I'll sign on for my phone. So no worries.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So John brought his son Zach, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Zach to the investigation, and he
Yes.
was great. He was absolutely great. He was not scared at all.
No, he was asking questions and getting answers. Where the answers
He
I'd be
was.
running, because he was saying I think it's to get out or something, right?
In the yeah, we have that EVP
Thank you,
actually.
Beth, Mary Beth.
We do. He is very talented. Yeah, we do have that EVP, that requisite get out that we get at every single location.
Yeah, that's
But
like
we do have that
yeah.
premiere every single time. But I always try to explain to people, like a place like this, you have to think, okay, maybe you're in the middle of a floor of a print shop, and they're like, get out, get out of the way, kind of thing, or a principal going, you're in a school, we're having a class, like get out,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I don't know. That
It's
kind of
not
sounded
always-
like for me to run that one.
Yeah,
But
that one was more like get out, but yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we'll
that's-
hear it.
Well,
I
the
actually
principal wouldn't
said
say
to them,
get out. They'd be just chasing you with the yardstick.
Yeah,
a lot of
maybe.
get out.
John,
I don't
has your son been doing any more interest in the paranormal? Has he been?
Oh no, yeah, he's interested. He'd like to
Yeah,
do
cool.
another, never go out again. He was
Good.
interested.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Good.
Yeah.
You should come back. I love it
It's
too.
good.
We
It's
love
good
it.
that we got another generation coming in with us.
Yeah.
After us. And a generation that's going to be in it just for where the old timers like us. Kim, you're old
research.
time. I'm sorry, because you're in it just for the, this research and to get answers and stuff. Not for like the other people that are out there now that trying to make a dollar off it.
Not for the
Well,
scares on TikTok
Yeah,
or YouTube.
like
Yeah.
on social media and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you want to
Let's
start
get
getting
into
into the
Kim's
reading?
Yeah. So let's do it. So let me preface. So for those
Mhm.
who are new or first watching or whatever. So I'm a location medium. I love to go to locations and read them. Don't know why. Never knew why, but that's what I enjoy. And I start outside, and it gives me a sense of the land. It gives me a sense of the area. And for the clips that we included here, I did do an outside reading. I also do an EMF reading outside, making sure we have no contamination from the outside in, which happens actually quite a bit at a lot of locations that can cause sensations. So for the clips that we did here, it was actually Anthony's filming me. We're in the entryway. And this was before we kind of brought that information to the group, because there was quite an enthusiastic group that was with us. And I was so grateful to have them because especially you, John, you knew some of the people we were talking about. And same thing with everybody who was there. They can validate some of the information that's coming forward. So these are just a few clips of what I was getting in the hallway there before coming into like the main group.
Okay.
In the audience, tell them we have people that were part of this playhouse for 50 years.
Yeah.
Years.
Amazing.
Well, up in their age and stuff. So they knew a lot of stuff that Kim spoke about. And as Kim was talking, they were like, they knew who she was talking about. And John had some reactions to some of the stuff, but they knew the people. So that was one of the most interesting investigation I know I've been on, because they could clear, they told you what you said. They validated everything right then and there. And that was so cool. And the best thing about it, usually on investigation, when we have people there, they always talking. They stay quiet. Everybody stay quiet the whole time, and it was great. So we didn't get no contamination in.
Yeah. So this is a reading of the location. And then I also ask for individuals to come forward who would like to speak about the location. And there definitely was a woman who wanted to talk about it, but she'll be at the end. So let's start with the first one.
Okay. Yeah. This is, I remember I took a picture of you when we first walked in. And some of the stuff, I don't know, it wouldn't focus on you. If you notice, the picture is blurry. It wouldn't focus. Everything else came in clear in the background except for you.
So strange.
That to me, it's like you're channeling, and something's coming to you, and it's not focusing on you because it's like trying to find something to focus on, because it's not just you, it's what you're challenging also. So it's not. That's why the background is all clear except for you.
We should try that again. We should try to repeat that experiment. It's the scientist over here is like, okay, we'll repeat that experiment.
We'll do it again and again and again till we get results.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting perspective. I like it. Yeah.
Okay, here is the first one.
Here's Kim.
And remember, this was a dark room. We're doing a regular camera. Later on, I come in with night vision, but it's going to be a little blurry, but because it's got to do with the lights and everything in the room.
So turn up your sound.
Okay, I want to talk about the 1900. 1900, this would be 1900, 1910 time frame. And what I'm seeing these children walking here, walking to and fro, walking in, walking out. This is a happy place. I don't know, there's something about winter being in that time. I don't know if it first opened in the winter time, or I don't know, there's something about winter being significant here. They show me like everybody working together to get the snow out. This would be like a very significant snowstorm that would have happened in like, I'm getting 1917, literally 1917, a very big snowstorm that everybody had to take. 1918 that everybody had to take part of, and there was lots of community activity removing all the snow. They're saying this is a community center. This has been a community center for many years. It's not only for children, not only for what it is today as a theater, but it's been a community center for many years. They're showing me, okay, it was set up because the town was growing and all the kids couldn't fit into the other school, okay. So they made this one, and they made other ones at that time too. This was not the only one they made in the town at that time. They made other ones, not past the 60s. I don't feel like this was still students or children in here past the 60s. And I think there were multiple classrooms, like 2 or 3 maybe? 2 or 3 classrooms at that time. I don't feel like it was just one at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
As always, spot on.
That's amazing.
Oh, I mean, I did know it was a school, and you have to take a lot of times with mediumship. I mean, if it's coming to you, you still got to say it. But I did know it was a school, but it still was coming to me, so it comes out.
Yeah.
But I did actually look up the winter of 1917 or 1918. I don't know if anybody knows about this winter, has heard about this winter, but apparently it was a very severe winter in New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
It was one of the coldest winters in New Jersey. And what actually happened was this was the year that we entered World War I, and the ports over in New York and Block Island actually froze. The whole entire sound froze. And they had difficulty bringing supplies over to Europe this winter because it was so cold and so frozen. I don't know. I don't think that's what they were referencing, but I did look it up, and it actually was quite a cold winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anthony, do you remember that? 1918.
Yeah, I was going to school. I had to go up the hill. I had no shoes or socks. Every other day I had to switch with my brother, and went to school uphill both ways in the snow, about 3 feet of snow.
Oh my gosh!
And we used to have to share socks, my brother and I, and the shoes and stuff. Yeah, it was a horrible window, 1918.
Well, I'm glad you can validate that for me, Anthony.
Yeah,
Thank you
for validating.
But then again, I did know the history of 1918 with the weather, and there was one of the worst storms in record up to, I think, still up to this day, or getting close to it. I think we might have one or two, but that back then, 1918, they have no snow plows. They had nothing, so I can see a community getting together with their shovels and trying to shovel everything out. So, okay. You want to start too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
In particular, I'm seeing this younger girl, blonde hair, younger girl, pigtails. I don't think she passed at that age. I think she attended the school I would have attended. She's showing me in a blue dress, socks up to here, like shoes kind of like mine, looking very nice going to school. And I'm getting a male coming forward. I do feel like he was a teacher who was here. This would have been a teacher, I think, in the 50s or 60s. It's an R name coming up with this, Mr. like Roland or something. I do feel like he was a teacher, if not the principal, who would have like really orchestrated a lot of things. He was a big community person. He was like asked to be in the community, and then he was in the community long term. Not just as a principal, he's saying that he also even had like, I think political appointments maybe. But this is like the 1950s, 1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's hard to validate. I don't know if there's any pictures of school children in the building. I don't think I saw any. John, do you recall any pictures of?
I don't remember seeing any pictures, no.
Yeah, I didn't.
Just
think
names.
So. Yeah,
I read the names out, trying to get activity.
Of the teachers or
the students on the wall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a list of student names. Yeah.
Is there some sort of archives with any of the records from the schools? Because
I'm sure.
Being Pacific in the 50s, if there's a teacher there, that he's going to definitely be on the roster somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did look up a lot of the teachers in the history, and I couldn't really find any male teachers. There were quite a few female teachers, and there was one that was there almost the entire duration of the school. There was one man who was associated with it, and he did become a political individual, O'Brien. I think it was like Walter O'Brien.
Yes, Walter. But he was with the print shop, wasn't he? Not the school.
Yeah. So I don't know. Can't really validate that. So just something that came up, and we didn't bring those pieces of evidence to the group. So maybe they would understand it. The other individuals who were there. Yeah.
Okay, so play 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They do keep wanting to bring me to the back. It's like the back. There are energies coming from the back that are in sadness. There is sadness. I do also, what is this? There is a spirit who does come from the back there and come through and does interact with the people. I feel like, I don't know if somebody's feeling like somebody following them or watching them from behind. It's not like a negative feeling. Like, I don't feel like anybody feels like they're getting pushed or like anything like that. Feeling of a presence. And I don't feel like this has always been the case. I feel like this would have been in the last like five years that they would have kind of, 5 to 10 years that they would have experienced.
Is it a big presence? It's do they come for the theater? Do they come for?
They're a community person, so they would know people here, and they would know of this building. They would have
5 years. Okay.
They would have been in the building. They would know the people who are here, and they are definitely within the community. No, I don't feel like they themselves worked as a theater performer, but they would have absolutely known the performers, or like known the people in the community who would have helped here, and they know.
Volunteer-wise?
It could be a volunteer, not a performer. I don't feel like this is a performer. I would guess they have to be buried in the back there.
That's interesting.
So interesting about that is it. You know, they talked about the founder of the theater, right? Gary Garrison, right? He was the founder, correct? Is that correct, John?
Yeah, I believe that was the name. Yes.
Yeah, Gary Garrison. And you were spot on, because they said they walk around and they feel him right. One of the women said they feel him right behind them all the time. They think it's Gary. They don't know they feel him, but they feel a spirit with them right behind them all the time. And you just said, like, following them around. It was exactly what they said. But they felt that it might be Gary who did it. Right. Now, I don't know if he performed or not. Do you, John?
I don't know.
I don't know if he was a performer, but he did,
Gary
right?
was a big performer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So maybe not him, but maybe this is a good time to play that EVP, because we were lucky enough to get the EVP asking Gary, do you follow people around this theater? And we got an answer.
Gary, do you still like to follow people around in this playhouse?
Can you play it again, Anthony?
It says yes and something.
Yeah.
Gary, do you still like to follow people around in this playhouse? Gary?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a yes.
It says yes. Does it say yes, dear?
Yes, something. Yeah, it's a little short.
I'm going to play it again. I'm not sure.
No.
It says yes, but there's something right after that. It's like dear or something like that.
Okay.
Gary, do you still like to follow people around in this playhouse?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it says yes, I did, or yes, I can. Like something like yes, I something.
Did, I think. Yes, I did. It sounds good to me. And maybe that's why he thought it was dear, because he heard the D.
Yeah, definitely a yes.
You know me, my D.
Sure, yes.
Everything has a D.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not every EVP has to be this, like, string long sentence, because I mean, what they wanted to know is it Gary following me around? Gary, do you follow people around? Immediately, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it one more time because I want to hear it. What did you think?
Yes, I did.
Gary, do you still like to follow people around in this playhouse?
Yeah. I mean, you have people there who want an answer to this, and they get the answer. It doesn't have to be a long EVP, right? I mean, it says yes, I follow people around.
Yes, and Mary says maybe yes, indeed. It could also
good idea, Mary.
That could be too, Mary. You might have it because it says something there. There is something. I'm going to play it again.
All right, one more time.
Gary, do you still like to follow people around in this playhouse?
Well, could be indeed too. Yeah.
Oh, Mary Beth.
I mean, we're just playing game, but it could say yes, right. Jennie. Now I'm hearing.
The point is, they feel followed. Is it you, Gary? Yes.
Yes.
And these are people like with us who need this answer and get that immediate answer. I mean, what more can you do, you know, than give people these answers?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
So clearly Gary is there, because
Gary's
that wasn't
definitely
the
there.
only EVP that I got that night from Gary. Someone had said he might be upset that his picture was taken down from the lobby. And I asked, are you upset that your picture was taken down? Also, same clear yes.
Okay.
I would put that picture back up if I were
Yeah, I
them.
meant to
That's
tell
just
Randy
me.
to put that back up.
I did write that to him. Yeah, you might want to put that picture back up.
Gary might be upset if you don't.
He seemed like a cool guy.
Okay. So, what we up to here? Are we up to 3 or 4? Do you remember?
4.
4.
We're up to 4? Okay, here's 4. Here we go.
This is very recent. I don't know if they had a memorial here recently or if they had something that they memorialized someone recently. Like they had I don't know if they had a service here. I know it's not a church, but they're letting me know like something had happened very recently. I'm going to say this is within the last like year. And there is an older woman patron. She says, I was a paying patron. I also paid funding. She died very old. I would put her in late 80s, 90s. She's showing me walking, like I'm feeling her walking into here, and she needs help, like there's somebody holding her, and she's just going slow, but she's like, I'm gonna go in. This was almost like her safe place, like her safe place, her happy place.
Okay.
Lots of kudos, like she's really very, very supportive of this theater. I feel like she's local. I still feel like she knows people here, very much so knows people here. I want to put her with glasses too, and short curly hair. I do feel like it's up and done. All she's doing here is like this. This is what she's doing. She's just like
Applauding.
Kudos, applauding. Very good, very supportive. I mean, like if not the top supporter, she would have had to have been one of either the founders. She's showing me like I even helped put the bricks down.
So she's been here a long time.
Been here a long time, but I still don't feel like she was a performer. She's showing me sewing, so maybe she helped make some of the costumes or helped make some of the props. I don't know if there is a fund in her name or if she's able to continuously contribute even past. If she has a seat with her name on it, like a plaque on her name.
Okay.
Because she's showing me she has a seat here. She has a special seat here. Yeah, I feel like I want to go find her, like, seat.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So then the next video I would just play right after this.
Yeah, and this is where you reveal everything. Here we go.
Yeah.
Is there a seat that was memorialized, like in a name for a woman?
Dedicated someone.
Dedicated to a woman? Very elderly.
I don't know. Just on 99 now. We did have 110, I think, until I had I don't remember.
She's saying it would be a seat I would always sit in. It was like her seat that she would always sit in. She's very old when she passed, and she was a patron.
We just last week, a 98-year-old who passed away
She used
from
to
the
be-
Playhouse.
She joined 2 years after me, Harry Osinski.
And
She always
they-
sat in the back.
they always sat, like, there's one wider seat.
Yeah. That's probably Harriet, who just passed last week.
Okay.
She would always sit right
Yeah, she used to be
next
president.
Okay. And did she come for a long time? Many years she was patron?
She's been here. They've been here since the opening of.
She was part of
The opening?
6 people that renovated this theater, her and her husband. Oh,
Perfect.
yeah.
She was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, I'm a part of the bricks. I'm a
Oh,
part of the
yes.
bricks.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
She just had her funeral last week.
Yes.
Okay. and
Okay.
That would be the. Did you have a service in here for her?
No.
She always wanted to.
She did.
She
did.
always would say that she'd have her funeral
Yes,
here and her
but she
casket
didn't.
would be on the stage.
But she
She
didn't.
always used to tell me that.
Yeah.
So
Somebody's
she-
knock.
What was that noise?
I heard
a
that
noise.
too. I heard that back here.
Oh, I see. I heard it here.
Yeah, I heard over
Okay.
here. Sound like somebody knocking.
Can
Everybody's
you
in
knock
here.
again?
Which seat in the back has she sat? Do you know?
No, I-
I think I might have something already.
Most of the time I'm there, I think, because this is the wider seat.
The two right there.
They have, yeah.
They started sitting down close.
Yeah,
They started sitting her down close.
when the last couple of times, because she
Yeah.
couldn't walk, yeah.
And there's funding. Like is there like even a fund from her even after her passing too? 'Cause she's like the money.
They asked the money in the obituary. They asked the money, like if anybody wanted to make any donations, it could go to Somerset Valley Playhouse.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Wow. Kim.
She was very clear. I don't believe she is any of the spirits that anybody has been experiencing there. But so when I go to these places, I ask if anybody wants to communicate about the place. And she very much so wanted to communicate about the place and share the clapping and just the support. And she's very happy.
But you were spot on. And again, the instant validation from the people there who knew her is so cool. We never get that. Do we have a picture of Harriet?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to put on.
All right. We found her. There she is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, and you said glasses and the short curly hair. Look at that short wavy
Short hair,
hair.
yes. And here we got her obit also.
Yeah. So
Wow.
what I loved about this,
98 years old.
Yeah, you said she was old. You said she was really old.
in her late 80s or 90s, but yeah, very old. What I loved about this too, in the third paragraph, it does say the Somerset Valley Players was a significant part of her life. So this structure, it's just something we pass on the road. It doesn't have this big, massive presence, but it can still mean so much to somebody in their life, and you never know. So, and then here it also says donations may be made to the Somerset Valley Players. It also, up in the other part of her obit, said something about her being an avid sewer. So I thought that was funny
Oh my
too.
gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
And you
Remember
never
I
could have
mentioned
known
like
that.
maybe string seamstress or something like that?
I mean, you never could
I
have
don't
known
know.
that.
I don't think it says but yeah, it just says that she was an avid sewer, loved reading and completing crypto quotes.
I love it.
So
And don't forget, she was a Rutgers football season ticket holder like myself.
Yep.
Well done, Harriet. No, I love it.
John,
love
did
it.
you ever meet Harriet? Did you ever?
No, I have not.
No. Okay.
You didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I
Aw.
don't think she is, again, like I said, any of those, the reason for any of the phenomena that we had been experiencing there, but she did come forward to talk about it. And I must have cut out the part where I must have edited out for the fire, because I did pick up on a fire that had happened. I'm so mad I cut that out, but that's what happens when you edit sometimes. So I did pick up on a fire that happened in the building, and the women that were there said that when they were renovating, when they had just gotten to the place, there was evidence of fire damage in the roof.
Do you know about that, John?
No, but I heard the story, and I think the roof, the timbers are still charred, and they painted over it.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think you were saying, and somebody was saying that the timbers are still charred on the building. Back then, it was better. They was built so well, and the wood was so strong that you could still char it and still keep it and still hold structure. So I'm amazed that and they wouldn't chip off the excess of the char, because that still gives it strength. You take it away, it weakens it. So
Have you seen that, John? Have you actually seen the charring?
Yeah, I think they pointed it out when we were there that day. I'm not too sure if you guys saw it.
Okay. I didn't. No.
Yeah. I think it was too dark in the theater to see it at the time.
Yeah, I
That's
think
pretty
they
cool.
said it was in the attic in the back in the attic, if I'm not
Yeah, I think when
mistaken.
you went up on stage, you
But
could see the rafters.
I did
Really?
find. Oh no, we didn't see it. Oh,
Next
bummer.
time we go, we know what to look for now.
I
John,
know.
Yeah. But
But and I don't know
Love
if I sent this article picture to you, Anthony, but there was a fire in the building in 1953.
Let me see.
That's way before John. Way before John.
Yeah.
There is an article here. I don't know what it's about. So, that's it. Oh yeah.
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 Full shop damaged by flames.
Look at that. So the Nishanic Printing Company, it was called.
1953.
That's cool.
That's even before me.
They broke through the roof of the one-story wooden building.
Right. So it was definitely in the roof. John, is your family also have a history of being in the fire department?
Yes. Yep.
Would your father or have
My brother was.
Your brother?
No,
was.
not that. No, not there. No.
Gotcha.
No. Okay.
But
that's so cool you found the article too. And that's not the only thing we found the article for. Like there were so many things Kim found articles for that we experienced later.
Well, it was great.
Because when you go back, did you experience anything else, or it's
No, not yet.
not yet?
I do the inspection there 4 times a year, so now that I know that Gary's following me, I'll be like, oh boy. But yeah, you guys passed. I'll do it from the road. But
Gary's following you.
Yeah,
he is.
He's not there to hurt you. He just there to look over your shoulder and make sure you're doing the right thing by the place.
Yeah, he's like this, like.
And he's a good guy.
If you scare
loved him.
He's coming home with you.
Yeah.
No.
Be nice. Just go in and say, "Hey, Gary." That's what I do. Hey, Gary.
Yeah. When something like that, we acknowledge. If we know something's gonna be following us. We know who's following. We acknowledge it, and they just want the acknowledgement, and they don't really bother you. He's probably just curious what's going on in his place.
So go down in the prop room in the dark, shut the door, and talk to Gary.
I'm running.
You can talk to that the dancer I seen down there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think some of the activity too. I think it, and Kim also, and when we did our walk around, I know we seen stuff out there too, outside, but it was too much contamination, cars flying by and everything.
Yeah.
And we couldn't hear each other talk, and I couldn't hear her talk. But a lot of stuff's outside. I think it does come in from the cemetery because of the music from the shows and stuff like that. Maybe it just draws them in.
Could be.
I mean,
or they went there.
We did see me and Jennie saw like the day before when I brought her there to show her the place. The prop room, they had a prop clock that moved.
The clock?
Oh, great memory. Okay.
So there was a clock. There was a big clock just sitting there next to Gary's hat, an area where his hat was.
Art trainer's hat. He was art trainer. Yeah. They actually have a hat in a glass box of a man who always wore the hat. So they were memorializing the man with the hat box.
Yeah, we were down there and the clock went from like 12 o'clock to 12:05.
Yeah.
And there's no batteries in it, wasn't plugged in.
Really?
And I was ready to run then. But
it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. No batteries, not plugged in, nothing. And Randy was like, that clock just moved. And we're like, yeah, right, it did, Randy. Sure.
It did again.
And then it did again. And we were like, what? Yeah, right by the hat.
That's
and you had a K2 meter in your hand at the time, and that suddenly started blowing up.
Yeah, they went off the charts, went all the way up.
Yeah.
That was on the stage, or was that down in the basement? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. That's weird.
We have I forgot about that. That was a great experience. Randy was like, wow. Do you have a video of Kim inside doing the reading with John talking about the firefighter?
I have 2 things here.
Okay.
There should be 3 things. There should
because
be 3 things that say.
One says Untitled Project.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about. And there's
Go for it.
there's two blurry things here. I'm gonna go with the first one.
One should start with Kim. You'll see Kim.
Yeah,
first
I seen
one.
the ones with Kim already. We did those. We
Okay.
did all those. Oh wait, maybe this one here.
Yep. I love it.
I'm gonna check.
Okay.
The whole plot, it's like a very
One.
Perfect. That's the one.
Yeah,
Go for it. Yep.
here we go. Kim, this is you
Start with
again.
that. Yep.
the whole plot, it's like a very narrow.
Before we go on, everybody will make their speakers a little louder.
That's what I'm doing.
This was a little distance, and the camera didn't pick up it very loudly. So we're gonna have to mic you soon, Kim, when we go to these places. All right, here we go.
The whole plot, it's like a very narrow strip. It's okay if it doesn't make sense. And then also, I did have a spirit that did come through, that came from the back of the building, like came through from the back in. And I do believe it was male, middle-aged, and there was a woman who was trying to like unbury him in the back.
Oh, how awful.
Like looking for him. So I guess there is a cemetery back there.
Yes.
But
There is.
But I didn't know that.
It's
until-
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
The lane
we
right
planned to-
next to us, the lane, like the edge of our property goes back up into the cemetery.
That's where it goes. That's the entrance.
Yeah,
Right.
that was kind of low.
I could hear it. Could you guys hear it?
No, I'm dead.
Yeah, when my sound was up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's the next one. It has a picture of a chair. It starts with a little chair. It's a video, but the first frame has a chair in it.
It says alternate, ATT.
I don't know.
I'm going to try that because these have gray covers.
Coming? Oh no, you get your. That's
Is that it?
coming. Oh no, you get your. That's right. She's gonna do the reading, and then I'll be in. I'm sorry. Never mind.
So one weird thing that you're saying is that we had a fireman who's my age, who passed away on a fire call. And he's buried right up the road here. And his wife is always up there. And she owns land right across the street here. Her family. It's a historic 1800s land. That's something to do with the town now. But I'm not too sure if that means anything, but
Oh, that's like a strip of land that you were talking about.
Would you?
yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that was kind of low too. But what was going on there?
So Kim had said that she felt that like in the first one, she says that she felt that there was somebody young, right, who had passed away, and someone close
Yeah,
to
there was
him
a fireman that
digging-
was young, passed away.
Right.
And
Yeah,
he
I
was up in
think
that
a lot of
cemetery.
that was cut out somehow, but
Yeah, there was, and he was buried up in that cemetery, and his wife was always up there grieving him.
yeah.
I was
Right.
wishing he was back, and that's absolutely true. Well, for the person I knew who passed away on duty when I worked when we were there, died of fire, and his wife is always up there, so validates that.
Right.
Okay.
And I think there's one more video in which Kim actually pinpoints his age. I mean, like perfectly, and really gets it. That might be what's missing that you were saying.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. This man, I got the number 56. It could be a year. It could be his age. I'm not quite sure.
He's 56.
Yeah. Okay. so
Wow.
it could be. And then, would you understand him passing suddenly?
Yes.
And
So we had
then,
a fire call. He was just like this, and then went down, and that was it.
okay. And would you understand him maybe having a little too much to drink occasionally?
Not that we know of. We don't think he did.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, I'm gonna see if maybe more information about that.
Yeah.
And that will help us too when we use our communication and the tools to help validate, is this, don't give me a name yet, just in case that comes up, is this you that's trying to communicate?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my dad was 56 when he passed away too, and he went to school here when I was in school.
So it's not-
Okay.
56
Yeah.
is the number.
Okay, let me see if I can get more.
Well, that was a
Yeah.
specific number, though,
It
Kim.
was specific,
Wow.
yeah, and I was like, well, it could be a year,
All right.
it could be an
So-
age, but.
Do you want me to go outside and film you, or
Sure.
do you want anybody else? Wow. So not only Not only did your friend was your friend 56, your fellow firefighter.
I thought he was my age, but he was 53.
Okay,
Hmm.
close enough. I mean, the point is, she said,
Yep.
okay,
Yep. It was
56,
close.
and
He looked 56.
then the woman there says, my dad passed away at 56, and he went to school here.
Okay. So yeah.
So, look at John. You got fans in the audience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
loving it,
Thank you.
loving it.
Yeah. And we were just talking about that too. I was just asking you, John, before we came on the show, and now that we're talking about John being a firefighter, was about if you're on call for these wildfires that are happening right now.
Yes, I mean on duty we're very cautious with fire, especially in New Jersey right now. It's very dry, driest as it's ever been. We're on record.
Wow.
We have friends that are in charge of the Forest Service, and he's out west, and he's all around here doing firefighting. But he said that the thing is, in California, when the worst it ever gets, with the depth of how the ground gets dry is usually like 3 inches. Right now, New Jersey's at like around 6 inches, which is way more than California ever was.
Yeah.
Being dry, so we're really in a bad drought with the.
Wow.
So yeah, just be careful. Don't make bonfires and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's over. Hopefully tomorrow. It rains a little bit.
We always have a fire on Halloween in the backyard. I have an indoor-outdoor party. And this year I called the fire department and I was like, look, I really still want to have my fire. How can I do it safely?
Yeah.
So they helped me out.
Okay.
We had a very small fire that was contained.
Our job security.
And I had my hose right there.
Yeah. Be careful anywhere.
Yeah, there's signs and there's signs on the highway that say call, watch out for fires, call the fire department. Yeah.
We have friends that have a house near there. I don't know how they're doing right now. I gotta check up on them. Bob and Sandra.
Bob and Sandra.
Well, the fires are going on right now.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
We go back here.
There's no
So
joke.
that's what they're saying about when it's in the duff. So it could be 6 inches down in the duff here right now.
I think the dryness of the ground, where like there's like moisture and it gets a little lower.
Yeah.
It's record for New Jersey of being that dry.
Wow.
It's been like 50 days since I can remember rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the snow's coming soon. So.
Yeah.
What? No, we don't get snow anymore. There's no snow here. We don't get snow.
Yeah.
It's funny because where I am, if I'm out in Jersey or in Pennsylvania and when I come home, I'm in Queens. It's like, I'm coming with snow all over my car. No, there's nothing here.
Oh.
It's like, okay. I don't have to shovel.
It's like, okay.
That's fine with me. So it's good. So, John, any of I know you don't want to bring up all the locations, but have you experienced things in other locations that you would share? You don't have to give the location name, but
so the one location that's pretty has a lot of stuff going on inside is a restaurant. I won't name the name right now, but hopefully you get to go there. Maybe we could all go out to dinner there one night and you can see for yourself.
Yes.
They won't even know we're there, but you're gonna see what's going on. But yeah, it's an old, late 1800s restaurant that I think was a speakeasy also back in the day. Okay. But there's a lot of activity. I mean, when I used to work there when I was in high school as a dishwasher, we would see things. There was one night where we were in the kitchen doing dishes. It was like maybe 2 a.m, finishing up, and there was a couple of us dishwashers and waitress. And the guy walked in, and he was wearing a full white chef uniform, looked just like me and you, and walked into the back pantry. We're like, who is that guy? And we all went in there. There's nobody there.
Wow.
Oh,
wow. That was cool. You see,
and it wasn't like it was, maybe because we're tired. I don't know. People disbelieving, but it wasn't like you see through. It was actually looked like a person. It was weird.
Yeah. I completely believe you.
Full body, yes.
We have the one manager there now who's saying she's seeing, as of right now, full body apparitions walking across the floor.
Wow.
She's trying to get the owner to get you guys there to see what's going on.
I mean,
what we could do is There's
On
other
the-
restaurants who do that. We go there, have a late dinner,
Yeah.
and then when they close down, we'll stay and do what we got to do.
We've
Yeah.
done that.
We do like to eat before we go on investigations. You know,
We do. We do.
we do like, you know, I got to fill up the old the belly.
Yeah. So I'll try again. I'll be
That's
doing
a
the
good
inspection
place.
there in January.
Did I get cannolis there?
Yeah, try. I mean, you never know because sometimes people change their minds about it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I mean, this place has really got a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of people see things, a lot of things moving around, a lot of shadows, a lot of, you know.
I was just going to ask about moving around. Do things move? Because at a lot of restaurants, you hear like kitchens, you hear things falling or being thrown or that kind of thing.
We saw a bunch of glasses getting like taken off. Like it seems like they're getting knocked off the shelves and on the ground and into the wall. And
He's so calm. Glasses getting knocked off the shelves. Apparitions walking past
it's
me.
pretty scary. You know, it's
After a while, you get used to it too. You know, it's like you
yeah.
leave the dishes alone and costing me money. Stop it.
Yeah, really. Can you wash some dishes, please?
Well, you're seeing you've seen a full body apparition, and
Holy
the
cow.
owner sees full body apparitions. I'm more concerned with that than a glass falling off a shelf.
Yeah.
You know, if I see a full body, I'm like, okay, the glass is nothing. It's like they toss the glass at me. It's a different story. It hits me in the head. But you know, full body, that's awesome.
Yeah, and this one particular manager, she sees it like a lot, you know, which is weird.
Wow.
You know, so.
Well,
So were you the only one who
She
saw
could
it that
also be
night?
more sensitive. That may be why that she's
maybe,
seeing more too, is that she actually could be more sensitive to it, or that they know that she's more sensitive and they're trying to communicate to her too.
Yeah.
Like a beacon, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Open to it.
Were you alone when you saw that guy walk past you and into the pantry?
No.
No, he was
Other
with his
people
friends.
saw it.
Yeah,
we all saw, it was weird.
Yeah,
It was
we all saw it.
It looked like you didn't really kind of even pay attention. It was kind of like somebody walking in, you like look up, and a lot of people walking through the kitchen.
Sure.
And the only reason it caught our eye is because it looked like he was wearing a white chef's outfit,
cool.
you know, which is weird. And we're like, who is that? You know, went in there, there's nobody there. We're like,
and then he never came out, and you're like, where's that guy?
And we were like, let's get out of here. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's wild. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've seen what I believe is an apparition, but it was so real that sometimes paranormal investigators will say, well, no, that's probably just a person. And I was like, I don't have an explanation for it. Why this person was there doing that? You know, why was there a person wearing white walking through the kitchen? It's, you know, and they can be so real. I mean, in my experience, they can be so
it looked
real.
like, it looked like an actual person.
Like an actual person. Yeah.
And it wasn't like something you see on TV, a ghost. You know?
I agree. My only experience with if people say, have you seen a ghost? The only time I feel I've seen a ghost, same thing, walked into an elevator that I was leaving, turned around, nobody in the elevator. Full person, like dressed. I knew what they were wearing, saw the face, saw the hair, everything, you know, black hair. I could see the whole, you know, it was person just walked past me. Good morning. How are you? Whatever. I turn around, nobody there. So
I
believe you.
Yeah, we had one story there where it was closing time. It was me and a couple other guys and the manager walking out, locking the back door, and we heard smashing like in the basement area where they had a pub, like glasses breaking. It sounded like somebody was down there with a baseball bat, you know, smashing stuff.
Wow.
So the manager calls the cops, and the Hillsborough police show up, and they're smashing. It's totally breaking, and so they say to the manager, "Listen, we count to 3. You're going to turn the lights on, and we're going to go in." So it's smashing. See 1, 2, 3. Lights go on. The cops go with their guns drawn. Freeze. Nothing. Nobody. Nothing's broken.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh boy.
We have to get there.
They
boy.
We actually had the cops called
When
because they thought somebody was breaking and then
So then I see all these things happening when I was younger, like 17 in there, and now that I'm going doing the inspections there, I'm telling these people, do you see? We used to call it Charlie the Ghost. That's what we called it, Charlie the Ghost.
Charlie.
So we're like, do you see Charlie the Ghost? Oh yeah, everybody knows Charlie the Ghost. I'm like, oh boy, you know. So everybody has experience. Everybody sees something. Everybody, it's kind of like a common thing. But I'm like, we should have some. You know, just be kind of neat to have it verified. You know, it's what's going on.
Oh my gosh, get that on
When you name
camera.
ghosts or spirits, when they name spirits inside locations, and everybody has the same name for it, usually the spirit, that's their name or close to it, because they're the ones that are letting the people know who they are. And somebody come up one day, like a medium or somebody sensitive, and say, "Oh, that's George," and now it's George. It goes because the spirit is telling the who's ever sensitive the name, and then that sticks and just tumbles down,
Right.
later on.
Oh,
But
interesting.
that's how the spirits come to name themselves most of the time, because that's actually their name, because that's what they influence somebody else to say.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
So something you could do is, John, since you know the location and you know the name Charlie, is you look to see if there's a Charlie really
There was.
associated. Oh,
There
well,
was.
there we go. Bingo.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's what we call Charlie the Ghost. Because
Welcome,
Tim, the
welcome
owner
to
of the
the
old
show,
place way
John.
back
You
when,
doing what we do.
we used to be, clean vacuuming at nighttime, and it seemed like every time like a chandelier would turn on by itself, it would always show that one of the light bulbs in the chandelier was out. So, we say, "Oh, time to change the light bulb." So, fast forward, I'm working and now doing inspections. I bring my boss to this place to reopen the business, going back maybe 15 years ago. And I told my boss these stories. Everybody doesn't believe you, right? It's no naysayers.
Right.
So we're in there talking to the new owner, and the light turns on in the living, in the dining room, and the light bulb's on. I said, "See?" And they're like, "Let's get out of here,"
Oh yeah, no way.
So yeah, no,
Wow.
it's a lot of good stuff there.
Sounds like it.
That's something
You're
that
so calm now. Were you
love to
scared
go
then?
into it.
You were
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's crazy. I don't, it kind of freaks me out, and I'm not like you
Sure.
guys all calm talking. They say get out, I run,
Yeah.
I run too. I mean, that's the kind of location I would love to sit there by myself at night.
No, you run into
I was
it.
gonna say, wait, you run?
out.
I run-
Let's just stop right
I
there.
roll. I kind of waddle these days. I don't roll no more. It's like a waddle. But
Yeah.
I waddle into it. Okay, Jenny.
Okay. Sorry.
waddle.
You don't waddle. Stop that.
No. But that I place
I
like
just can't
that.
see you running
I've been
away.
doing so long. I love to sit in a location like that and just, put my equipment on and see what I get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to take
lots
a
of
recorder in
cameras
there.
in there. Lots
Cameras.
of cameras.
Every
cameras,
angle.
Cameras. Yep.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So when I did
They
an
should.
inspection January, I'll bring my camera and try to capture something. Maybe give you.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Even just keeping it on like in your shirt pocket or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
and just on. You don't have to go around. I mean, you can too, but so as you walk in, because sometimes when you just walk into the place, that's when they kind of scatter a little bit. So you can catch something like right when you walk in or right when you leave. Yeah.
Do you have a body cam? Do you
I was
guys?
gonna ask that.
No?
Yeah, because that works so well because I put mine on in the car before I go in because of what Kim said.
Yeah.
And I leave it on until I get back in the car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many times like I've taken it off and then on the way out something
Yep.
happened.
You'll be in the
or like,
window watching as you go. Not to freak you out, John, but sometimes, so not every place. Sometimes they'll be in the window and you can see things in the window on your camera as you're leaving. So yeah.
I wonder if they would care if you wore mine. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We do.
Now we're like determined. We gotta get there.
Investigating.
We
don't want to
maybe
get John
I'll
in
come
trouble.
for dinner one time and I'll just like, hey, guess what I do?
Yeah, if everybody went out there for dinner one night and just sat
like
down
if we
and
just
talked,
met them.
and
Yeah.
everybody has body cams eating dinner, but yeah.
We do.
Would have a hat with a camera hidden in it, and all kinds of hidden cameras all over us. And we walk through. Hey, we're just here for dinner.
Yeah.
Where's the glass falling?
Why are you recording me?
Why are you moving your purse all around here? No, we want to be honest about it. We want to be honest and upfront.
Yeah. No. Even if we get something like that, we can't really show it because you don't got permission.
Right. So what?
And it could be an issue down the line somewhere. Maybe not right away, but down the line to be
True.
You know, especially if it gets like popular.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, we have this one place, the 76 house out in Long upstate.
Yeah,
by
it's
me.
Japan, New
And
York.
yeah, Hamilton's lived there, and it really goes back to the 1700s, 1776. That's what 76 house. And they have a deal that you stay there late, and then after you're done, after everybody goes home and whatever, you stay there and you investigate. And I know people have done that. I think Jenny,
I have
you
twice.
know, so
Yeah.
maybe we could do something like that. That's if they agree on it.
Yeah.
If not, we're just gonna have to walk in and
Or you'll just have to place a trail camera inside the refrigerator and go back. Oh, I left something here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, any other locations or by you or anything else that you might have come across?
I used to work in another place that had some stuff going on. I like to get there too. They're very adamant that we can't go there because they don't, with the media.
Mhm.
You know, they have other stuff going on there that it's in the, I guess, folklore, and people always are going there, and especially
Oh,
the Rutgers students. Jenny, you probably know. You probably went there. There's a thing where they go there once a year to go check out some
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Mhm,
Yeah.
Okay.
See? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
What have you
not
seen
wanting
there?
to.
Anything or it's
I never really saw. I mean, one time we were coming back from in this area, this place on the outside of it has a lot of folklore to this area. So
Mhm.
we were coming home one night, and it's like 3 a.m. from my restaurant. We were all working out, all of us guys, and in the middle of the road, standing there, a guy with a white Navy uniform on, with a white hat, and he was saluting in the middle of the road. 3 a.m.
Wow.
We're like, what is? Well, then we weren't drinking and no drugs. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
We just come from work, and he was just standing there, and we went around him real slow, and it was on an old dirt road, just standing there.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
in his
Yeah.
whites also?
What's that?
In his whites? His white
Yeah,
his
it's
white
like the officer and gentleman uniform, you know.
Oh my goodness.
do they
John.
still use that uniform?
Mhm.
I don't know. Does the
Yeah.
Navy still use that uniform?
Yeah, it's like an officers, Navy, whatever it was. Yes, it's
Wow. And on a dirt road, they would never
yeah, dirt road, just stand there. We know,
At
you know, a lot of
night,
people
like
come out and
why
try
would
to-
that happen? Nobody would
3
be
in the
doing
morning.
So yeah, but you know, sometimes too, people play pranks. So that
Yeah.
could have been that too.
Yeah.
They want to get a reaction, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
to go back in the early '80s. You know, we didn't have cameras on like that, but or cell phones.
Yeah.
But
There's no
you
cell
never
phones
know.
back then with
It
cameras.
really just seemed weird either way.
Still odd.
Yeah, no
John,
cell
I have
phones
to
or nothing.
ask though, Kim, you said before that that person in the restaurant might be sensitive, right? Who's seeing that
Right.
apparition all the time. I mean, John, are you a sensitive?
Maybe. I think I see a lot of crazy stuff more than most people I've seen, but I don't know. Maybe
Seems
they're.
like you do. Does it not?
I guess. Maybe.
Kim's
Yeah.
smiling. Kim's smiling. What do you think?
You took a question out of my mouth, but I
as always.
didn't have to. We didn't have to go into it if we don't want to. I also find it interesting that a lot of these events were when you were younger. I mean, I know the
Yep,
new ones
yeah.
are happening, and you're still aware and in a group. So sometimes, if you're feeling more comfortable, that might be more when your guard is down, and then something might bring its awareness. But if everybody's seeing it, then everybody's seeing it. Like if your friends all
Right.
saw it at the time, and I've had that too. I've been in situations where I was in college and we saw something and we all saw it. Like it wasn't
Right.
just me
Mhm.
alone in a building. But it is interesting, and
Okay.
not necessarily that you're a medium or anything, but that you're sensitive. Like, and you can even
Yeah.
sense the changes in the room as you're walking in. Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot, but I just thought,
No,
you know,
that's it.
wow.
That's,
But yeah,
Yeah.
you're on the spot.
I
I'm
feel
kidding.
if you're out interacting with it, well, you do see things and stuff. You might be. I think you are sensitive.
I
It's
agree.
how I started out too. You know, as you know, and you know, if you are, you are. If you want to be, you can open up. If not, stay closed, because once you open up to it, you'll see more that
Yeah.
you want to see.
I don't know.
I know. I went
You're
through-
like, no.
no, that's it.
We
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
we were in the
Everybody has
we
different
have,
feelings when it comes to that, and
Yeah.
different especially background.
For
When you're growing up a certain way with your background with family and stuff, or religious, or just want to be shut down, or just believe the movies. Everything's a demon,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
so it's not. That's one thing. It's
No.
Hollywood has wrong. It's not
Totally.
demon wise. So I'm just like it's not for everybody. And I mean, it could be if you take your card down and you want to open up, but you got to have. To me, to this day, sometimes I get scared, and it does bother me things. But I get to a point now, like I just don't let it, and I just go and do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting scared, John, and just to get, we have so much more to show with pictures and video and stuff, and EVPs and stuff. John and Zach and I were in the prop room, and we were doing an EVP session. And poor Zach, I look at him shaking his head. Poor Zach, because I played it back, and there were a couple little voices, and all of a sudden there was just like this blood-curdling scream that came out, and John was like, "You guys both turned white, like you just both turned white." And he's looking at me like, "Okay, we're locked in this dark prop room. What do we do?" But yeah, I mean, there was somebody in there yelling pretty loudly. But we did get an EVP from the prop room that says, "Get out."
This scream was audible, or was on the
on the
EVP?
recording.
On the
Yeah,
recording.
we were asking questions, and all of a sudden it was like, like this guy yelling.
Okay, I'll play it.
This startled us. Yeah, this is a different EVP.
It's not it.
No, this is a different one though. That's fine. The one that's
Okay,
in
because I see prop room,
The
so
prop
I'm going to do that
room.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
What did it say? Do that
Can
again?
you play it again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get out now.
That's like a teacher with a ruler. That's like
That is kind of like a teacher. It was. I do feel like it's male voice. Saying,
Oh yeah.
Get out.
Definitely.
Wow.
We can do it again so the audience can hear it again.
Get out.
Yeah, I was ready to run.
When I played that back, he was like, "Oh, what do we do?" I'm like, "We stay." Yeah, there you go.
The next one we do, we go. Who says that? Who said that?
We're not getting out, and here's why.
Thanks for the get out.
Exactly.
Who's saying that?
Thanks for the get out, but
yeah,
that was great, Kim.
I hear you are heard. I hear you.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
John's like, no. We'll get you there. We're gonna get you there.
Yeah, well, I'd be like, I just drove in 2.5 hours coming here. I'm not going nowhere.
Not happening. I know. In all seriousness, I usually say, listen, we have permission to be here. We understand that, you might feel that we're in the way temporarily, but we come with respect. Like I try to say that kind of thing. If otherwise we leave, like if we can leave, we say, okay. You try to respect that.
And it goes with the feeling too. So sometimes we'll get a get out and it's just, get out, whatever. But sometimes the feeling shifts in the room.
Yeah.
Maybe there's devices starting to go off all of a sudden. They haven't been going off. There's a shift in the room. Everybody feels a shift. And then you get a get out.
And
then
like,
it's
we're
like,
out.
Okay, understood.
But sometimes they say get out. And it's like your first, they say get out. And then you're like, okay, why do you want me to leave? And you just question. And sometimes they do give you they will interact with you.
Right.
They don't want you to really leave. They just get startled. And like, you get startled, like, get out of my face, So I feel sometimes they say get out, but because they want you to leave. But if you get a communication with them, they will give you some kind of, communicate with you, So it's not always, I think it's like a startle thing. Sometimes.
All right, you're not supposed to be here. I agree.
Yeah.
Like
I listen to him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
He's like, goodbye.
Heard, understood.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Oda Mae in the movie Ghost and have the
Yeah.
Ghost follow me home,
There you
stuff
go.
like that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
So
Kim's
was
like,
this
yeah, been
during the
there.
same time you were communicating with Gary?
Yeah, maybe they're getting dressed or something.
No,
Get out.
no,
So
this was a different entity in the prop room for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And do we have anything about the hat, or like more about the hat?
About Art Trainer. He was an actor, correct? He was a pretty,
Mhm.
I think that a
Yeah,
long
he's a
time
very
ago.
big actor there, I think they said, and that was his
Yeah.
hat. He always wore on stage and always wore
Right.
all around.
Like
That's
a black hat.
what I thought was the person that was probably sitting that seat that I took a picture of.
Right. So, because we were trying to figure out, because this was kind of what was happening. We were getting these kind of dichotomous experiences there. We were picking up Gary. We were communicating with Gary. We were seeing these other people in there. None of them were giving us negative anything. But that being said, there is a presence there who does come behind people, watches people, and makes them kind of feel uncomfortable. And maybe the individual who is saying get out. So we were still trying to figure out, and I don't know if we really nailed it down really who we believe this hat guy is, because we had a few mediums draw a person with a hat, and we have evidence, a picture of a person in a hat. So I don't think we really know who this man in the hat is yet. Did we ever kind of figure out who this man in the hat is?
I don't know that we know definitively that it's Art Trainer, the guy with who always wore the hat but because when we did ask questions about Art, I asked many EVP questions. Art, nothing, no Art, no communication. Not even when I said, this is about your wife, like thinking I would instigate it a little bit. Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But we did get responses when asking about Gary, but Gary
Maybe
wouldn't wear the hat. So there is this still a bit of a mystery that we ruled out some things as far as who this presence could be. And that's, we do often have to go back to locations, because we do the first one, then we try and do some of the history and the evidence, lining it up. And then we may I would love to go back to see if we could find out more, because there absolutely is.
Do that.
I agree.
Is a presence of a man in the hat, and I don't feel like we've fully identified who this gentleman is.
That might be hard. That might be very hard, because remember back in the 40s and 50s, even before that, they all wore hats. They all wore that fedora hat, and every time they went to a movie or to a show or to anything, they wore their hats there.
True.
So to get somebody with a hat, remember there was a whole era up to the 60s. People used to wear hats in theaters. Even the
but this wasn't a theater back then, Anthony. It wasn't a theater.
It was a I think it's one of the O'Briens.
Well, what I'm saying is,
but we didn't have those names when we went that time.
Walter. Now, do we have pictures of them right now?
I'm
not sure.
I do, but I didn't send them in.
Okay.
I do have a few of the O'Briens. But Anthony, do you want to show, did we send the picture of what Richard drew of the man in the hat?
No, we showed everything except for the cemetery.
Okay.
And I think there's one more, there should be one more video actually from me.
This is one video. I'm not sure if we played it.
This one might be a voice of a little girl.
Is that the one you're talking about?
That's me alone in the theater. I'm all alone. And
I heard a hum.
Yeah, there's a girl. It's a little girl, and she says something. See if you can make it out if you turn it up. I made out a I think it says waiting. I'm waiting.
I'm going
and
to try
then something else. You're waiting.
Something
else.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's me when you guys all left and went in the parking lot and I ran back in.
Okay.
Yeah, on my body camera.
We'll do one more time because I hear waiting and then it's like it's pause and then
Yeah,
something.
I'm waiting. It's like waiting and then something else. But it's like a little girl.
Yeah, it is. That sound like a
No. It's like
little
I'm
girl
waiting.
with somebody with
Anyone
high-
in the audience
with
hears
a high
it? Let us
pitched
know.
voice, like a little person.
Waiting, and then something further away says, "Oh,
It
you know what?
sounds like a hum.
Mary Beth suggests there's two people talking.
Yeah, it sounds like there's two. And if you were alone in there, then there
I
shouldn't
was
have
definitely
been
alone.
another voice further off. But I agree, Mary Beth. I heard two different.
Okay.
Interesting.
Do it
Yeah, there
again.
shouldn't have been one really, because it was just me going back in to get something, and everybody was gone. And I said, "Can I just run in quickly?" And there was one person in the theater, but she was way in the back by that control room. And this was down towards, the stairs going down. There's like a restroom there in the stairs.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time.
And she wasn't talking on the phone or anything. Yeah. Waiting. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear it's like a melody, like
But I think it's waiting. I'm waiting. I thought
yeah.
was first.
I sound like waiting,
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching my body camera, and it was all
Where was
silent,
this?
silent. This is like on the first floor when you go back towards like you're going down the stairs.
Oh, in the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something on the side there because the entrance is from the side. So maybe they're saying waiting, they're waiting to go on stage.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, for the sake of the show, I cut it down, but it's like silent, 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 silent. Like nobody was in there, and then these two voices. And it definitely wasn't the woman, because when I walked back and saw her again, she was way back in the control room and just was like, "Oh, bye," kind of thing. Like she wasn't talking.
It's funny. After tonight, John's going to do the investigate. He's going to sit outside. And goes, "Okay, you're passed."
Yeah, I'm going to do a drive-by inspection from now on.
Aw. Now, can you talk about when you were sitting downstairs? Sorry, Kim. When you were sitting downstairs, you were doing some investigating together.
Right. With the just me, you, and Zach, you're saying?
It was Sophie, one of the investigators, Sylvie, excuse me,
Right.
and you and Anthony were down there in the basement where you were doing an investigation down there.
Right.
And you were talking about an accident.
Oh yeah. We had a accident out in front of the playhouse where a woman died in the accident.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that article that Kim found.
Okay.
And Kim, you were bringing it up.
Yeah, I think somebody was bringing that up, and I said that's what happened there.
Yeah, so that's another thing that you validated.
I do remember that on one of the devices I think we were using, it said helicopter. Do you
Yeah,
remember
the helicopter, because I was the person who landed the helicopter for that person who passed away. Right behind there, right behind the playhouse, was a field. And I was the guy who pulled right next to the playhouse and landed the helicopter for that person.
Oh, wow.
Which is so specific, because when it came on the device, I was like, helicopter, it doesn't make any sense to me, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then John immediately knew exactly what they were talking about. And that's amazing. I mean, that's very unusual. But that hasn't been the only person that's lost their life right in front of the school there.
No.
So I did at least find back in 1933 a young boy, a 10-year-old boy who was attending the school, crossed the street and was struck. He was chasing a ball and he was struck. So I didn't really pick up on a young boy there, but that did happen. So that's really sad.
I mean, that voice could have been a young boy too. Not that I'm saying it was the young boy.
Yeah, it could have been.
A young boy sounds very much like a young girl, let's face it, like a 7-year-old boy, correct? No, 10-year-old, you said? 10-year-old? Yeah.
10, yes. Yeah.
Could sound like a girl, for sure. Interesting. But you had picked up on an accident, the devices were going off, and then helicopter
Yeah.
came up, and John, I just remember
Yeah,
that part
it
of the
was-
investigation.
It was unbelievable. Yeah.
Anyway, we then went to the cemetery if you wanted to show yeah, I know. Both were sad, awful, awful things.
Yeah.
But that's a very dangerous area, that
Yeah.
road.
That road,
It is.
you try pulling out of that thing, it's very hard.
Yeah.
And and I tried pulling out to go to the cemetery. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's a neat location, such a neat location. And
like
like I
it's
said,
the
there's
cool
the
house and it's
cemetery
like-
right next to it. And so we have some pictures of that if you want to show that.
Yeah, we have one picture of the cemetery.
One.
Let me bring that up. That's all I have.
Okay.
Up here. And here it goes. That's the cemetery. That's the
Yeah.
old cemetery, huh?
Oh
Right.
yeah. What was so interesting about this cemetery is there were plots that were in circles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that before. I've only seen like the lines, right? Like the street lines, right? But there were these graves that were actually in like pie shapes, like in circles.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there'd be
but-
one in the middle and then all the people around it from the
Yeah.
family. I kind
Yeah.
of loved it. I thought it was really neat.
Yeah. I
It
never
wasn't
this, and I grew up around cemeteries. I never seen this at all.
Really? Oh yeah, Anthony, you do
Mhm.
love your cemeteries. Yeah, yeah.
I've been going to cemetery. I mean, like I said, I grew up. I always say
Yeah.
I had 9 cemeteries to play in, and I grew up in cemeteries since I was a little kid. And some of the oldest cemeteries are right there in Queens, and I never seen circle plots like that.
Yeah,
I
interesting.
never seen.
Have
that.
you, John? Have you seen that elsewhere?
Nope.
No, it's beautiful though.
Huh.
I mean, it's a beautiful cemetery, and we tried to investigate a little bit, but we didn't have much time. I
Right.
think that would be a really good thing. Maybe I can head down there since I'm really close to it, and just do a little. Maybe John, you could meet me, and we could do
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little investigation of the cemetery, and report back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
different.
it's different. It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful place, Adam. Really nice.
It's interesting.
And like Kim said, like the fact that there's a huge cemetery right behind the theater just adds to the mix.
Yeah, the plot thickens, right? Like,
Yeah, no pun
who's
intended.
here? Who is
Yeah,
this? Who is-
exactly. The
who is
plot,
this
I
and
get
why
it.
are you here? Yeah.
And we did feel down
He's
the
there.
that something was coming through that one by the bar area coming through, and we thought something was coming from the back
Mm.
a couple
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
yeah, and you might have visitors. I don't know. You know that location. You don't know what that location was before anyway, before they built anything on it. Also,
Mm.
so it could have been a farm. It could be anything. It may have been part of the cemetery for all we know. And
Oh, yeah.
so you don't know what's that was there before the building, which would be interesting. But yeah, we felt things coming from from the back, coming to visit. Like I said, maybe they're drawn in from when they do have shows, music there, or it's just the energy of people being there, and the spirits are coming to where the energy is. So
Yeah.
that's
I agree.
possibility, So
John, when you took me to the cemetery before, we had gone earlier before this investigation.
Right.
I could see like how much you liked it. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could. You were. I mean, he was so enthusiastic about showing me, and I just wanted to tell this quickly. Do you remember when we were there? We kept having all these coincidences.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
your
Like
name,
there was-
your family names.
Right, like I would see, it would say Jennie, which was a common old name, with my name with an IE, right? And then right next to it would be one with my birthday. Like it was like there was my
It was
birthday.
like telling a story as you're walking
Yeah,
through.
like
Mhm.
no one
It really
was like
was.
born and died on my birthday. And
Whoa.
then it said Jennie, and then it said Jennie, like next to it with my name, like with an IE. Like it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, and it was all these different things that were related to me, and we were like, ooh, this is really weird. But it was cool. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a nice cemetery, and it's well kept. Because like I said, I grew up around cemeteries, so some cemeteries are not kept as nice as others.
Do you remember the view? The view was amazing.
Yeah.
We were
I was like, holy
beautiful
cow.
view.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice. It's a nice place. It's a nice location. And like, we'd love to get back there. So,
So, John, do you remember? There was a woman there who said her dad was he buried there? Yeah, she's buried in that cemetery.
Yes.
The one who
Yes.
said my dad died when he was 56.
Yep.
He's buried. So I wonder if all of them. Well, I wonder if Gary's buried there.
It's a good possibility. A lot of people in
Let's do
Hillsborough.
find a grave and find out if Gary get.
Well, hold
founder
on.
is buried there.
I have his obit. Let me see.
Oh,
I
that's
can
right.
look. Keep talking. I'll look.
That's
See
why
if
I
it's
got
mentioned
that's where I
before.
got the picture from. Right. Okay. I'm just curious if a lot of the theater people were buried there. You know, is Harriet buried there? Or is she buried
No.
next to Rutgers Stadium?
It's a very popular cemetery for a lot of people, that were staples in Hillsborough. A lot of people.
yeah.
Right.
What religion is that cemetery? Is it a specific religion?
I think it's
so.
Catholic.
Okay.
I think we did see some area that had something odd, right? It was against a fence line. It was like different. I felt like it was
Yeah, it
different
was like a
information.
section.
Yeah, it's something different. But
Yeah,
Was it
a
well
small-
kept?
yep.
Yeah.
It was like
It
sectioned
looks
off.
like Gary was buried at Immaculate Conception Church, Somerville Internment Church Cemetery.
Yeah, that's right, like a quarter mile from where I live.
Gotcha.
It's down the street from me, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Really? I ride my bike there almost every day. I'm gonna
Go
check
by
that
and
out.
say hi to Gary.
Gary's going to be peeking on you over there.
I feel like I've seen that name now that I say that because I do. I ride through that cemetery.
Yeah. Well, if he's
Doesn't
there, not
everybody?
the White
Doesn't
House.
everybody ride through the cemetery?
Are you kidding me? I used to play football in the cemetery and baseball, catch and everything else. We used to do everything.
John's like, you guys are crazy. Never
Cemetery.
coming back. We are never coming back.
He's like,
He's never
Right.
having us back.
that guy's cemetery is so big by me, it goes from Queens to Brooklyn. So,
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of people. But there's more people buried in Glendale, where I come from, than live in Glendale.
Wow.
That's how many cemeteries are around there. So
That's a pretty one though. I feel like that's one of those that you really could just take a walk through. Just
Yeah.
like we did, like John and I did.
hmm
And ride your bike through like I do. That's so funny. I ride my bike through that cemetery all the time. And I'm gonna have to say hi to Gary. Hey Gary. You're following people around?
You might you might jump on the back of your bike and get those pegs and just hold on to you.
You might.
Kids do, yeah.
No.
Gary's gonna follow you around. He's gonna hang out.
No.
So
But-
at the end of our show, which I guess it's almost the end of our show, we always ask people about what they're doing next and just a little bit more about them. No, it's a little different with John, right? Because he's not, doesn't
Mhm.
I don't know if you have a YouTube channel or anything, John.
No.
John, fire
Mhm.
marshal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good that like we have something to look forward to. It sounds like you have a couple other locations. Are there any others that you didn't mention that you think, oh, that might be interesting, even if you don't know that it's haunted?
Yeah, I'm
Like you
definitely gonna
mentioned
look for
Duke Farms, you mentioned that's near us,
Yep.
places like that you might like to get into to investigate. Do you know any places around here that you're like, I'd love to get in there and to investigate?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of old places in Hillsborough. I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I can see if I can get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk to a lot of people doing inspections, and they like to start telling their stories about their places, and then I can relay them to you and hopefully do some investigations.
I love it. I have to know, is there a haunted firehouse? Because I've heard
Yes,
the museum in
Mhm.
Somerville is
there's
haunted.
2 firehouses in Hillsborough that
Good.
they are adamant that they have. We have a couple of members who died in the firehouses, so
Wow.
they say they see things, so I can talk to them, see if they'd like to.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
Dude, absolutely.
An
You know,
untapped resource this is.
I
You know,
know.
what an unusual untapped resource. Inspectors, I never would have thought of it. Fire inspectors, because you're going into these buildings that may or may not be people in there all the time, abandoned buildings, shuttered up. What an
All you got to do is ask a few questions, and they're always willing to tell you if they see stuff or
Yeah.
That's always ask. You know, anything crazy? If I see looks crazy, is anything going on here? Oh yeah, tell you all the stories. You know, so
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
John, I would say keep taking those pictures. Keep bringing your cell phone in. Keep bringing, and if you want to on the DL, bring in a millimeter or something like that, or a K2, and just say, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm doing the inspection on this."
Well,
just
checking the wiring
around.
Some of your stuff, radiation meters, use that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I always say it's guerrilla investigating. It's like, yeah, just do it. Just do it.
No, it's fun.
Throw that little body camera under your jacket.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When they turn, just go like that. Like, no, we don't condone filming places without telling people, but
right.
Yeah.
But
yeah. We got 5 minutes, so
okay.
Let's
wrap it up.
Here, there's a message for you.
Add more to that paranormal lasagna. Yeah, no, exactly right. The layers. What do you call it, Kim? You say the layers.
Yeah, I usually call it the cake layers. Like the strawberry layers in between are the ones that are going to highlight out to me. I guess my favorite part in the lasagna would be the cheese layers. So maybe it'd be the cheese layers that I really like.
Why do we always talk about food at the end and I have to go get a snack?
Because of me.
He's like,
are you kidding me? I'm going to get a snack regardless. You know?
It was just so amazing to have you on the show. Like,
absolutely.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it.
And we want, any more stuff. We're more than pleasure. Jennie let us all in. We're all part of the thing, and we'd love to get anywhere. And if they want help, we just come in and we could be quiet about things too. We don't have to put on shows or we go in to help also.
No, I'll definitely try to get to Firehouse. That'll definitely be a good thing.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that
be
so much.
Honorary member of the club here, you know.
I love it. The Firehouse.
We put one of those helmets on Jennie, and she could walk around with one of those big uniform stuff.
I could.
The boots and everything.
Yeah.
I've done it. I mentioned to John that my dad's been a firefighter my entire life, so I certainly have tried that hat on and the jacket and all that, and been on the fire trucks. But I've never thought about asking him to investigate a firehouse. So
that'd be awesome. Yeah. That'd be good. So I want to say thank you for everybody in the audience. Everybody's been
it's been awesome.
Yeah, everybody's been comments and everything. Mary Beth and Adam and we had a bunch of people on tonight. I just want to thank a lot of people. Well, it goes back. Okay, but yeah, we had a lot of people on tonight. People, if you like us, please hit the like button, the hot button, whatever you want to hit, and to ERT Radio. If you guys want to, if you like what you see. Join, become subscribe to their network and everything. It helps us out, it helps them out, and everything else. So I just want to tell everybody, keep these old locations up. If they got any kind of events there, tours, any kind of benefits fundraisers going on, go. If you guys could donate money, also you could donate money to them. But we have to keep all this history going, because without history, we don't know what our past was. Without our past, we make the same mistakes. And it's going on a little too much these days. But just to remember your past and what we went through in the past to get where we are today. So I just want to, we've got a couple minutes. I don't want to do it too early. But yeah.
A minute and a half.
We got a minute and a half. But I just want to say thank you for everybody. John, this was awesome. I'm so happy you came on.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, fun. Good.
Yeah,
we really loved
curiosity and sharing it with your son too. If he wants to come to the next one, we'd love to have him.
Absolutely, we'll be there.
We love the idea of children, teaching children how to do it right, like we said.
Doing it right and not being afraid of it. Okay, so it's almost time. I'm going to say good night, and I just want everybody forget about it. How you doing? Hey, good night, everybody.
Right.
Good night.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.